Alright guys, I'm back. I know I said I wasn't gonna do another video until the 4th of July, or until after. I kinda did a whole see you guys later thing at the end, but I got bored today and said I was gonna do a video on a mask. Well, I actually got it yesterday before after I did the video, so I really didn't know I was gonna get this. If I knew that, I would have told you guys I was gonna have another video tomorrow. But this is a mask that I kinda went through some hell getting. Was The auction for this mask was actually at 5 o'clock in the morning, Midwest time in the U.S., and I lost it because of the fact, I don't know if the camera's going to be good enough here. It looks a little crooked. Uh, yeah, well, that's how it's going to be. But I lost it because eBay didn't let me put my bid in. I had it on confirm. I already had the bid when all that passed that stuff, and then all I had to do was press it to bid it. And then I waited until 10 seconds, pressed bid, and eBay kind of shut down on me. So I ended up emailing this dude. He had another one, and I ended up grabbing a Bulgarian PDE-1 USM17 copy. So that kind of made me pretty happy. As you can see, it's almost exactly like the Czech M10, except for the fact that it has a complete rubber head harness. I'm sorry about that noise. The whole head harness is rubber on this thing. And obviously, it's black, which is a tad bit different, because you can see has black filter caps. The entire face piece is black. Everything. It looks very cool. It looks pretty. I would honestly say it looks pretty mean. Looks much more threatening, I guess, than the Czech M10. But I have to say one thing about this mask is remember, this mask is the design came out during the Cold War, and this mask feels fairly cheaply made. But it would be enough that if I had to take it into combat or something, I would wear it, because it's not so cheap to the point where I wouldn't wear it, but it's pretty cheap to the point where I can tell after having handled, like as you guys saw, my Polish MP4B, Czech M10, M17A1, M10M, all those things. This definitely is going to be on the lower end of the spectrum for quality on the cheek filter masks, but it's definitely a nice mask. But as you can see, I ordered a size large simply because I didn't know how this rubber head harness is going to work out. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a Czech M10. I do have some yellow paint right here, but fuck it, I don't really care. Okay, so I guess before we get detailing into the mask, let's take a look at the bag and unpack all the accessories for this. So you're gonna get, or at least I did, this nice bag. I'm gonna go ahead and snap it up here so I can show you guys the different kind of loops it has. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna get this nice big tan bag. It's not too wide, but it holds the mask and all the accessories. There's kind of a splice down the middle that has pockets on this side for everything, and then the mask fits over here perfectly. But as you can tell, I don't know if the video is going to do much justice. Yeah, it looks a lot darker. This is a really light, kind of shiny, flamboyant, kind of, I'm not being a mean or anything by saying this, but it's kind of a flamboyant, gay-looking army green. It looks a little weird. Of course, this video does it absolutely no justice, but it's really weird looking. Say right there it looks OD, but this is shiny green, just creepy green. So again, it just has metal adjusters. And then something you're gonna notice is it has kind of Chinese style snaps to hold this in. That what it is this football shaped piece of plastic. Again, that flamboyant gay green plastic with a loop sewn from the top of the bag, and it just has this attached to the bottom. Then what you do is you turn this, slip it through that loop. The loop will pull out of it, as you can see there. Like I said, the football thing right here, and the loop to attach it right there. So again, on this side, I'll do it again. I really can't see, but you turn it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to show, but you turn it and flap the top open. So as you can see, like I was talking, two pouches. So as we get unpacking things, I got a separate set of completely sealed Bulgarian filters, so that's pretty sweet. And obviously these are in clear plastic, so these are training filters, but shouldn't be a big deal. But I have another set in the mask at the moment. I have the protective caps to keep the filter sealed from the other ones. Nothing down here. Now I'll go over here. I got the something that you do. It's not really special, but you don't get them a lot. The anti-fog stick. And these. Something that you usually don't see is the outserts in the original protective sock coverings. As you can see, if I pull this out, kind of a pain to get out, but that's good, I guess. So, but sorry, you don't have to watch me screw. Okay, but there, I got out. See, the outserts kind of made of like a plum. If you guys are at all familiar with AK variants or SKS, pretty much anything, that plum color that the bolts kind of are, this is almost the color that this is. So magazines, bolts, carriers, and everything on AKs and SKSs sometimes will have this plum color, but that's about what these are. And these are a pain in the ass to get on the mask, I'm not gonna lie. But again, you just have a little sock with a hole in it to slip over that. So might show you what one looks like on there. It's kind of a bitch to get on because it's got very tough plastic, so, or rubber. What am I doing? Alright, so that's all you're gonna get in the bag. So I will set the bag aside. Now right here, I will show you everything you get when you order this mask. You're gonna get this, both set of outserts, the anti-fog stick, another set of filters, 2 sets of filters. You're gonna get 2 complete sets, one to go in the mask, and you have 1 pair extra, and obviously these little caps. But one thing that I'm going to advise you to take into consideration before you buy this: you don't get this mask fully assembled. It comes, everything comes packed up. It's original sealing from the factory. Everything is taken apart. You have to assemble it like a day in the factory, or as they would have shipped it to you when you were basically hanging around in the military. So what you have to do is assemble the well, you don't actually assemble these. You have to put them on and put the seals on. You have to assemble the entire exhale portion. You have to assemble the one inside and this whole outside piece, and that's about all you have to assemble. But you also have to put the the oral nasal cup seals in there. So that's kind of a bitch. My thumbs were actually sore last night that I could only bend them to about there after I got done putting this mask together. So today is the first time I've actually really been able to enjoy this mask for what it is. But I have had one problem with that cheap rubber when I was trying to, as you can see, it has these big pull tabs, that when I was trying to adjust this bottom one, that pull tab actually snapped off. I still have it, but that's not really a huge deal. It didn't affect the mask at all. So I'm not really going to count that against myself. But as you can see, it's a pretty large face piece. Heavy, long, like most of these cheek filter masks are. But the filters, I guess... Oh yeah, but I wanted to point something out. I did not know these masks were this modern. Mine was made in 1998. I didn't think that these were that modern. Hold on for a second. These are kind of a pain to get off the mannequin head. These rubber strap masks. There we go. Set him aside. And then here we are. The Bulgarian MR70 set apart. I will flip the head strap back for you so that you can see the inside of the mask. And there is something that Smith has that not a lot of the other cheek filter ones do. And if this wants to cooperate. There we go. So, okay, well, something's up here. It's just kind of being funky right now. Oh, I got it. Trying to get you guys as good of a view as this as I can. Okay, that's a pretty decent view. Stuff's twisted, but... Alright, there we go. Now, here's the inside. You'll notice that this isn't something that you normally see on these communist masks. Not being mean by that. Or any of the cheek filter masks is the secondary, it's kind of annoying, the secondary seal all the way around the mask. About halfway down to about the middle of the cheek filters. Then, as you're going to see in here, you have oral nasal cup and the flaps, which these fucking pockets are a motherfucker to put on in these things. Like, the filters go in so nice. So nice. And then once you get to these snaps, you're going to want to go crazy. They are horrible. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I ended up using a very small pair of nail nose pliers to spread the rubber while I went around the mask and put them on the little knobs to hold them together. Alright, sorry. I had to take a drink. But again, I don't know if you're gonna, excuse me. Probably not gonna be able to see very well. The oral nasal cups. They're a circle with a ridge all the way around it, pretty much like a tire, and how the actual rubber on the tire fits into that, the little valley. It's like that. There's a hole in the oral nasal cup that you have to fit that into, and it's just a bitch to get in. It took me such a long time. And then it's going to pop all the snaps for the filter cheeks and to keep the oral nasal cup spread. It's going to pop all those off. And you're going to do those. And what happened to me is I tried to put it back on. I popped the oral nasal cups back out. And then I finally got it. And it finally worked. So mask was finally assembled. I was starting to get pretty upset at this mask because I've never actually had to sit there and assemble one of these before. And tell you what, if you guys end up somehow finding one of these, because they are fairly rare here, you will have a newfound respect for any gas mask assembler on planet Earth. It's fucking ridiculous. I could not imagine sitting here doing these all day. But yeah, so yeah, but again, like I was saying before I went off on my rant about putting it together, they're actually fairly hard to find here. They're not the most rare mask on Earth, but as far as the cheek filter ones go, they probably come in number 2 after the Polish MP4 series. So it's probably going to go MP4B, MP4M, or no, it'd be MP4B, MP4, MP4M, PDE-1. Then you're going to have your whole M17 series. Not sure what order they go into. I'm assuming the M17 normal will be the top, M17A1 will be second, M17A2 will be third. Then you're going to have the M10 and then the M10M. So the Czech ones are probably the least rare out of all these, the least common. That's why you can have them for so cheap. But this one is not the most common mask on Earth. They're fairly hard to find, really. They do pop up from time to time on eBay, but they don't always pop up with all the accessories, which is basically the hard part to find. There's one on there right now for like $12 that's missing everything in it. It's hard to find it with the original bag, original extra set of filters, anti-fog stick, outserts, everything like that. I was going to buy one, put a pair of Czech M10 filters in it, paint this black, and then I don't know what I was going to do about the bags, or I was going to buy M10 outserts and put them on here and paint them black, but I found this instead. I decided to order a Polish MUA, which isn't here yet. You'll get a review of that shortly, hopefully, by the 9th. And then I found this one eventually. Well, I didn't find it. I looked it up online, lost the auction, emailed the dude. I was pretty pissed because I got up at 5. Auction ended at 8, I found out, so I was pretty pissed. But in the long run, I got one. I'm happy with it. Couldn't be happier with it. And as you guys notice, there's kind of been a trend lately. I've been into cheek filter masks. I'm not quite sure why, but you're going to see a couple more cheek filter masks. As in 1, 2, 3, 4 more. You're going to see 4 more. So, not quite sure why I'm getting into them so much. I kind of like the design. I've just been liking to collect all the copies of the USM17. Because, I mean, they all look, as me and another guy were talking on here last night, that they all are similar to the M17, but they all are ridiculously different. So, they're pretty sweet if you can pick one up. Any copy. The European copies are pretty cool. Now, I'm going to try and put the outsert on without freaking out. Already not working too well. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, again, these outserts they're pretty heavy duty. The rubber on them, I mean, you're not going to break these if you're worried about that. I don't know why you would be. But they definitely feel higher quality. I would say that they probably are going to be stronger than the M17 outserts. Just pretty much because of the fact they're, I don't know, it's just the rubber's thicker, the steel, the rim around the eyepiece is thicker. Everything seems to be generally more high quality on the outserts at least. Okay, so there we go. There's one outsert installed. As you can see, it's a much different color than the rest of the mask. and it makes it a tad bit thicker. I am totally unaware if they ever had hoods for these. I would doubt it. I think that the only European copy that had a hood was the M10 and the M10M. So that's just me. But as you can tell, like if you watch my MP4B video, you're going to tell the MP4B shares a lot more US style features, such as having the flat voice diaphragm cover with the exhale valve holes down here and the tab to pull it up. And this one uses the M10 style. It uses the thread-on. God, I'm just at a loss for words. I apologize. The thread-on filter covers, which obviously the US M17 and all the Polish series use the pop-on ones, the snap. But yeah, so this mask was absolutely covered in talcum powder. I got it last night, cleaned it up a little bit, got it assembled. I I did a very, very light clean and just kind of wiped it off so that I could touch it without getting stuff everywhere. And then today I tore this apart and did my whole thing on it. And something I kind of want to show you guys, if I can do this without taking up too much time, is yeah, okay, so this whole assembly underneath here is actually kind of a brass color, which it looks pretty cool. It kind of contrasts really well with the black. Again, not trying to sound gay like in my MP4 video, MP4B, but it looks pretty cool. So overall, I would say that I'm pretty happy with this mask. I believe I spent $16 on the mask, $19 on shipping, so it was about $35 for the whole mask. And they are fairly hard to find, so this definitely is some piece I'm going to keep in my collection for years to come. So, I mean, there's not really a whole bunch more to say about the mask I get. What the hell? Alright, so I'm apparently having a problem talking this morning. But, again, the mask really is pretty much an M10, the design at least, but the mask itself shares, it shares a couple features with the M10, but other than that, it's very nice. The voice diaphragm on this mask, holy shit. It is awesome. I mean, it's just so nice. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've kind of stopped putting. I think I'm just gonna kind of stop putting my mask on my video because now that I have the mannequin head, that kind of does it for you. So, I don't really need to put it on, and it's easier just to keep talking the entire time. So, if I could talk out of the mask, it'd be different, but I really can't because I have to wear a headset because obviously I use a fucking webcam to videotape this, so. But overall, I would say that the mask is, it's quality enough to be in the military, but it's definitely got a bunch of communist features, as in, they had to build a shitload of them, so as long as it worked, I mean, honestly, this is kind of something, that is almost an inside joke with one of the guys on here. That the GP5 is higher quality than this mask. Honestly, the GP5 is probably more soundly built. So just me. Everything's cut a lot more roughly. So yeah, but overall, I would say that this mask is definitely going to be something that you're gonna look. If you find one, you're definitely gonna look forward to getting it. I mean, it's just the fucking mask is just #1. I mean. It's got so much history behind it. I mean, obviously this is a military gas mask. And I actually forgot to say anything about the Polish MP4B in my video. That's a military mask. But this mask was actually used from, I believe, about the time we came out with the M17 to the late to early, I think it's about early 2000s they discontinued this. And they still use it, which is kind of weird. But the only reason this mask really is pretty hard to find is because Bulgaria is not really letting us import a lot of them. Simply because of the fact they're keeping them because they work. And they train with them, and there are some small, limited numbers of these that are still in service. But I'm not quite sure. I'm assuming that, I think that not assuming, I have heard that the Bulgarian military police use these. Simply because of the fact that they're going to be using tear gas more, so they can use the training filters, but they do have MBC filters for these, like the, what am I saying? The M10 series do, and the M17. So I am pushing the time limit now, so Like I said, guys, if you have any other questions, ask me. Again, I will not shoot you down for having a stupid question. I ask them all the time. So, if you have any questions, not even just about this mask, any gas mask, I will do my best to answer it. So, I'll see you guys.